Audio Jungle.
We had a lot of sunshine, and believe it or not, guys, we actually had a cold front moving through the area. It's what we call a dry front, because really it doesn't bring any rain, but certainly it's going to bring in some lower humidity for us over the next couple of days. Here's our cold front as it continues to pull towards the south. There was just a little area of disturbed weather that was ahead of it. That brought in all that stormy weather on Friday, and now it pushes to the south. So we're going to start to see some lower dew points, lower humidity levels, and a little break in the numbers and the heat, but not by much, but certainly a welcome change. As we take a look at our radar, nothing going on statewide, pretty quiet. We have just a few stray showers down to the south of us, and the rain chances actually for the next couple of days will be pretty low as we deal with this slightly drier air mass. Believe it or not, though, we're still under full sunshine in Orlando, so we've got 90 degrees at this hour. Tonight we're going to cool off pretty quickly into the 70s, and as we get into the overnight, we'll be right around 70 at 5 a.m. and then about 8 a.m. we're going to climb back into the lower 70s, but another warm day is in store for us. Dry to boot. We're keeping things pretty dry for the next 24 to 48 hours. As you look at our computer model, things, nothing out there. Just a slight chance of rain at the coast, and we'll take a look at your extended forecast. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. All right, powerful Hurricane Gordon churning in the Atlantic. Good thing it is not headed towards the United States, headed back to Africa. We'll keep a close eye on it. We're also watching a disturbance down here, a 60% chance this could become tropical in the next 2 days. We'll keep you updated.
Tape from Orlando?
I sure do.
Let's take a look at your report.
Okay.
And the center is about 257 miles away from Orlando.
Oh my gosh, this looks like kind of hard. Like, she was really good. First of all, can I just tell you, just from, you know, man to lady, great shoes. Do you ever get really mad that, like, the viewers at home never see your shoes? That would make me furious. Do you know what I'm excited about being on the news? Those, like, newsy, like, montage openers.
With Wendy Chiocci, Jim Payne.
And we're all happy.
Oh my God, you're thrilled.
We're so happy.
Yeah, this is how it should look. Ready? This is how it should look.
I look like
you should be surprised. Okay. Like you don't expect it. The camera.
Hudson, and the key to these late night thunderstorms here is a little tropical air.
That's right. Yeah. He listened during
I do listen.
Story.
I'm trainable, and you're a very good teacher.
Oh well,
yeah,
thank you very much.
Betcha.
Let's see if we can teach some other folks what's going on. Not a whole lot, Keith, but you know, this time of the night, it's after 10 o'clock. It's a little unusual, and we still have a few leftover showers and some heavier pockets of isolated downpours. There is not much, and the one that was over Lake Apopka about 20 minutes ago has really dissipated, kind of deflated as it moved over the lake. But nonetheless, there is going to be some opportunity for some of these rogue showers. As you can see here, this is the remnant sea breeze, and down by Kissimmee as well. So all of that will push back towards the east. There's no lightning. As you can see, our lightning counter is only at 6, so we're not expecting that tonight. That's good news. But lots of folks do head out and about on a Saturday night, and you'll have to watch out for that. There was plenty of lightning earlier in the day. We start our laps here from around 4:45 this afternoon. Look at that sea breeze developing. Same setup. We've got a strong southwest wind again tomorrow. That's going to charge our storms back towards the east. You'll start off with lots of sunshine, but then that southwest wind's going to help develop that west coast sea breeze and carry it back towards the coast. We also will be pretty sticky out there for the rest of tonight. 78 in Daytona, 81 Sanford, 79 Orlando, and 78 in Kissimmee. The outlying cities are in the mid-70s. Some folks are closer to 80 degrees. Here's a look at our water vapor. Sometimes I like to show this when it's clearly telling a picture, which it is tonight. All that white and green means saturated, sticky, moist air. That's why you get no relief when you go outside. The dry air is just to the north of us, knocking on the door, but man, it is not going to get here. That's a cold front that's actually going to move off the coast of Georgia tomorrow. Unfortunately, we just don't see any of that drier air. Our southwest flow continues to pump the clouds and the isolated storms across the area. We'll keep your rain chances at about 40% again tomorrow, 40 to 50% depending on how strong that sea breeze develops. But nonetheless, I do expect to see some stronger storms possible. Now, as we head through the forecast tonight, we'll keep those temperatures in the lower to middle 70s, so we're not dipping down too much than we already are. It's pretty much status status quo for the rest of tonight. 73 is our forecast low in Ocala. Daytime highs back into the lower 90s to mid 90s. 94 across the interior, lower 90s along the coast, but again, very, very hot. It's going to feel like close to 100 degrees. All right, here's your extended forecast. 40 to 50% chance of rain through the next several days, mid 90s, and we'll see those rain chances go up just a bit by midweek, but then down by the end of next week.
I wanted to kind of get immersed in these trees because I wanted folks to know just how high this debris field is and how amazing the destruction is. Now you may be wondering how high of a wind do you have to knock a tree over this large? Well, according to the National Weather Service, you have to have about 150 mile-per-hour winds to topple something this big. And as you can see, there is aluminum siding ahead of me and all around me. They call it a degree of destruction, and based on this degree of destruction, they rate these as F3s or F4s. We know that an F3 came through Lady Lake at about 150 miles an hour and then actually strengthened after that. It's all part of this new enhanced Fujita scale that the National Weather Service had to use this weekend to determine what kind of tornadoes were here. The big difference from this new scale from the old scale is this degree of destruction. It's not based so much on winds anymore. It's based on how much destruction. Severe destruction is what comes with this F3, and we'll likely continue to get more information, Tony, in the up and coming days of just how high the winds were as this system crossed that 70-mile swath as it headed towards New Smyrna Beach that morning on Friday. Back to you.
Leslie, that it was just our area, but it came down as heavy as it could.
It's the loudest I've actually heard here. It was really coming down. It wasn't just here, though. There were a couple of other areas, but really things are improving very quickly right over parts of Seminole and Orange County. This storm deflated very quickly, but boy, did it put down some serious rain here just about an hour ago. We'll zoom in here and you can see we still have some heavier rains now just to the west of Oviedo and down southward into Claremont, or just north of Claremont. This is all moving very slowly towards the east. The good news is that these storms continue to weaken, so I'm not expecting any more of those torrential downpours, but I zoom in a little closer here. You can see Winter Springs, you just got this. Again, going to move over the northern Orlando area and then back towards the east, and then we have another pocket here to the south of Altamont Springs. Again, all of that will continue to move off towards the east through tonight. It's just a small concentrated area of storms, but certainly putting down some significant rains in the area. Most of us didn't see a lot of rain today. We had plenty of clouds, and that's thanks to this cold front that's stuck right over central Florida tonight. That will continue to be the setup for us through the overnight. So clouds will be with us through the overnight and into tomorrow as this front slowly pushes south. It's unusual to have a cold front this time of the year, but we are going to have it in place through the next 24 hours, and it has triggered some storms, as I mentioned, anywhere from 1 inch to just about 1.5 inches in parts of Alachua and Marion counties, and then back towards the east a little less. There's the cold front. We'll continue to talk more about that. Will it be cold weather? Well, no, but we'll tell you the change is coming in just a few.
Meteorologist Leslie Hudson engineering a big forecast for us here, and we got some serious precipitation rolling in.
There's a lot out there. You know, it's not heavy stuff really right now, nothing severe. That's good news, but there's certainly something to talk about tonight. There's certainly more on the radar today than there was yesterday. Good news is that excessive lightning that we got yesterday that spawned that a big fire out in Windermere, well, we haven't seen that today, thank goodness. But we certainly have lots of moisture to work with. We've got all of our radars scanning across the state of Florida, and you can see all that green there. The reason why we're seeing more south of the city is because there's some tropical air that's kind of locked up in the southern part of the state. So the rain chances were a bit higher if you lived south of Orlando or do live south of Orlando. A little less north of the city, but certainly we have seen a pretty decent line of storms move through the northern tier of our area as well. So kind of as hit or miss. I think the scenario will be very similar to this tomorrow, at least until that tropical air kind of breaks out of here, but I think that's not going to be a player until probably a couple of days from now. In the meantime, we've got plenty of clouds out there, and we're still very, very warm. 79 in Daytona Beach. You did get some rain earlier today, so you're rain cooled, if you can call it that. 79 in Sanford, 82 in Orlando, and 79 in Kissimmee. But look at that, Ocala, a steamy 90 degrees tonight. It's certainly a mixed bag for everyone out there. Now, there is some drier air behind that cold front you just saw. Unfortunately, it's not going to move through here and push all this rain out. In fact, it's going to move off the coast of North Florida tonight. So that keeps things very unsettled across central Florida tomorrow. We're going to keep those rain rain chances, again, around 50%. I think a very similar scenario. Southwest winds are going to get those storms from the west coast, pulling back towards the east, and that's probably where we'll see the heavier storms as we get into the day tomorrow. But for tonight, we'll keep a few lingering showers around, 76, pretty stable temperature-wise, and then we'll be about 76 at 5 a.m. as the kids get back to school. 79, mostly sunny. Some kids get back, not everybody is, but boy, summer is over for us, at least for the kids. I know they're not happy about that. Other than that, though, we're talking about pretty quiet weather pattern for the rest of the forecast. We'll take a look at the extended forecast coming up in a few minutes and another peek at the tropics. Guys?